Big round of applause. Keep them going.
Yeah, man.
The icon is here. Heather B, the icon is here.
100%.
The juggernaut is here.
100%.
The vanguard is here.
100%.
The visionary is here.
100%.
The oracle is here.
100%.
The Yoda is here.
100%.
The guru is here.
100%.
The griot is here.
Ooh, 100.
The truth seeker is here.
100.
The truth spitter is here.
100.
My brother is here.
100.
The one and only resurrected from the Wu-Tang Clan.
I had to clap to that one. Bong.
Bong. Man, today is a celebration. First of all, I haven't seen my brother in a minute. And I always like to start off with thank you. Thank you for your friendship, for your brotherhood. I really appreciate you, man. When the first album came out, we got to tell these stories back in 1993. It's when we all really began to form our bond. And we utilized Wu-Tang Clan's music to help set a tone for one of the first ever syndicated radio shows in the history of hip-hop that was worldwide on multiple continents, called the world-famous Wake Up Show with my brother King Tech and myself.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Torey. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, RZA. Heather hears it so much she doesn't even clap no more. It's like she.
I internally clap for you. I ain't always got to show my physical. RZA, talk to your man.
Internally.
Yeah, and from there, I often talk. RZA, I told a story. People always ask me, well, who do you consider a friend out of all the people you met? You know what I mean? Like, and sometimes I have a hard time thinking of it because people like you is beyond friendship. You know what I mean? It's been a brotherhood over the decades, and in 2023, it's just amazing that we still have business to do, right?
I mean, yeah. We still got business. We still got look, we on a journey. We're leaving footprints. We're leaving maps for those that's coming behind us. And at the same time, we're bringing our families with us and making sure that those 12 jewels of life are always in our possession.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't let that get taken from us. And I think every day that we come to work, we protect that. You know what I mean? So here we are.
Those 12 jewels, you often talk about them, but I love when you repeat them. Can you repeat those 12 jewels of life?
Yes, indeed. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Freedom, justice, equality. Food, clothing, shelter. Love, peace, and happiness.
There it is right there. And you said this plan. What are your thoughts? Go deeper about the plan. Like, why is a plan so important?
You know, if you can't see it, you can't get to it. You know what I mean? So you got to plan ahead. You know, throughout the course, you know, some things are spontaneous, right, and haphazard, and you might get lucky. You see what I mean? But when you got a plan, when you calculate, then your chances of success multiplies. You know, we started with a 5-year plan, and that plan also had a conscious vision, but what has to be behind the vision also was determination. And that's a word I think that's starting to get buried in society. I don't hear a lot of people who say the determination, a determined idea. So we had a determined idea, and meaning you can't be deterred from it. No matter what nobody else say, you knew that 5 + 5 was 10, even though they was trying to say it was 15 or 5 and 5 is 55. No, man. 5 + 5 is 10. It's mathematically correct. And when you see it clear, even though others may not see it, you have to move with a determined idea. And a plan, right, is the foundation of that.
You had a 5-year plan when you first started?
Yeah.
What was that 5-year plan? To release the first album?
Yeah, my 5-year plan, I needed 5 years from my calculation. I was like, if you give me 5 years, I could get us to #1. You know what I mean? And if we could get to #1, look at that.
Who's that calling?
That's my young grandseed right there.
Oh, wow.
He be hitting the FaceTime by himself.
Can I see him? Hey, what's up, man?
Beautiful. Wow.
What's up, nephew?
Hey.
Wow.
This how you can tell y'all are really family.
Turn it around.
What
up, man?
Let's put on. You don't want to put him on camera?
I mean, he got it. He's all half on camera,
Yeah, he
half on
half
camera.
on.
Where you
Oh,
at?
he's right there, man.
Hey, Ahmed, peace. I'm on. You're on the radio.
Yeah. He said, "Sue." Is that what he said?
I think he said I'm on the radio.
Hey, Mecca, I'm going to hit you back, baby. All right, peace. Love you.
Wow.
That's
Hilarious.
beautiful.
Peace.
That's great. So your 5-year plan was you needed 5 years to get the group to number one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a course of action I knew that I had to take. And importantly, the plan is the plan. I'm not going to go through the whole plan, right?
Yeah.
But the most important part at that time was everyone to agree to allow me to just drive the bus. Everybody sit down as passengers and let me drive the bus. When you're dealing with non-alpha males, all right?
9.
You know what I mean? It's not an easy thing. You know, nobody was no chump. Everybody had knowledge of self. Everybody had crews of their own, you know what I mean? But they all understood that I was the abbot and the best knower of the situation. And so therefore, everybody swallowed their ego, you know what I mean? It's all right, and they gave me their word, and word is your bond. And I delivered my word. My word was like, we're gonna be number one.
Yeah.
But I need everybody to just let me do what I do. I'm gonna do it.
So after that first album, though, I feel like the Gravediggers project came out, right?
Yeah.
Right after that, before anybody else's solo project came out, right?
Yeah, you're correct. Yes.
Okay. So we got to shout out Prince Paul. All right.
Of course.
Paul, thank you,
Raekwon,
Paul.
Poetic, you know.
Yeah.
I always wondered, did anybody have something to say about that? Like, why you putting out this Gravediggers project? Not putting out my album? Like,
No, well, the Gravediggers, me and Paul started that a few years maybe before we did Protect Your Neck. It was like Prince Paul had saw. Prince Paul was one of the first producers in the industry who really appreciated my lyrical skill. And he was like, yo, you're one of the dopest MCs. And Fuquan is one of the dopest MCs from Stethasonic. Grim Reaper, whose name was Too Poetic, dope MC, all on Tommy Boy. But he knew that Tommy Boy didn't utilize us properly.
yeah.
So as a producer, he was like, yo, I would love to put y'all together and do an album. And I used to drive way out to Long Island to his crib, and Paul was one of the first producers who was using like computer software like in 92.
I was gonna say in 93, 92.
Yo, yeah, he was
Computers, what kind? What's he using?
I don't know his program that he had because I wasn't hip to it. You know, I was basically EPS, ASR, SB1200. You know what I mean? But he had something in there where he was ahead of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Look, Prince Paul's a genius. You know what I mean? And it was thanks to guys like him actually that, you know, gave me inspiration as a producer to like, yo, I could do this. I can't do what he's doing.
Right.
Yeah.
But I could do what I could do.
How did y'all meet though? You and Prince Paul.
He was on Tommy Boy. So I was signed to Tommy Boy
Right.
first. When I was doing my first single, Oh We Love You, Rakim.
Rakim.
We Love You, Rakim.
Escapades, yeah.
The
Yeah.
sexy one.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't they wasn't allowing me to be a producer. So they had me meet producers.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And so I met Prince Paul, DR period.
DR period.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
Ain't that any up?
MOP,
Yeah.
how about some hardcore?
Yeah.
Like DR period, yeah.
Yo, he was the one. Let me talk about DR for a quick second.
Please do.
He was the one that had all of his records, and excuse me for talking about you, brother, but I gotta tell this. He had all of his records in order, right? Like in 1970s, 1980s, or maybe this is all bass, this is all horns. Like he had it in such a order that when he went to get a record, he already was like pulling it out like
It was files.
like files. So I saw that. Now I never did that, but what I did do was my floppy disks, I put those things in order. You know what I mean? So I was like, these are all Method Mans. These are all Raekwons. So from each person, you could pick up some type of wisdom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I picked up at least to organize my floppy disk because he had his records organized. My records wasn't even in the covers. I had my records
Like frisbees.
Yeah, exactly. But my floppy disk, bro, in order.
You had that down pack.
Wow.
Floppy disk, right? I find it like when we talk about producers and Trace, I'm gonna let you jump in, but when we talk about producers in this culture, Prince Paul's name is very seldom mentioned.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Wow.
Like people, because they don't know. So you got these lists of greatest producers, greatest MCs, greatest groups, and folks don't have full knowledge.
Well, Paul, I think at the end of the day, I could look at me and Dre, right? Because we always make these lists, but we could give our hats off to Paul because, he created his own sound with De La Soul.
Yeah.
I think he's the master and the man of foundation for the skits. Like he put skits in records and set you up in a way that nobody else was doing yet. Then of course, NWA did it with the gangster, and they was so funny and so well produced. I mean, I don't think nobody produced skits the way they produced them. They sound like movies. And of course, with us, we're using kung fu sounds and our own New York dialect. But you wouldn't even be conscious that you could do that if Paul didn't do it on 3 Feet High and Rising.
Wow. RZA is here, man. We got some big announcements to make as well. I'm thinking of the Liquid Swords and the skits that was on that project, right? What motivated those skits?
Well, that one was we was using a lot of kung fu movies, but on Liquid Swords we used Japanese samurai.
Yeah.
Right? Because the RZA lyrics are like a samurai sword. He don't Method Man lyrics is like a sword, they could get fancy and the RZA chop. That's it.
Oh, that's beautiful
Just a
imagery. Yeah.
Okay, Tracy. Go.
Taking a half step back, like I keep focusing on you convincing this troop of male egos, hey, we're all going to be in the same vehicle going in the same direction, but I want to be in the driver's seat, right? And I'm wondering, like, what experiences prior to this made you confident in your leadership? And also for other people, determination is definitely vital, but also the art of persuasion. Like, what are some steps someone can apply in convincing a group of people, especially men, that they should follow you?
Well, the first step was, of course, the knowledge and the knowledge of ourselves, right? With knowledge of yourself, you can also reflect on other men who were great before you. So for us, we look at knowledge as the one who is a knower. And you go into your Bible, Noah, he's the one who knew. People thought he was bugging out. You're gonna build a big ark in the middle of a desert.
Noah.
Noah.
That's a bar.
Yeah, but Noah knew. All right.
I'm saying.
So, but and secondly, I would say that my word was trustworthy. I was like an honorable man. Like for every one of them, it was something that we done together. They know, Rakim is real. He ain't gonna falsify, backstab or nothing. If he says it, he gonna carry it all the way out. And then I think lastly, for me, and I realized this later, I grew up in a house of 11 brothers and sisters. So I got a lot of personalities to deal with already.
You can juggle them.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I could mentally adapt to all the personalities.
Man, and I'm thinking about your past. You did some. I think it was season 2. We saw that you did some jail time, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, small amount. That's enough. Just enough to let me know that I don't belong there.
Yeah. Well, but why?
I mean, all it takes is a little bong for me.
That take a lot of bong.
Not too much.
But I know you though, and I know who you are today stems from who you were yesterday. I'm curious, did you reflect on why did God put me here? What is it to learn? And then what did you walk away with?
It was so crazy for me, and we don't show this on the show, but I was sitting in there at the same time that my first child was sitting inside the stomach of her mother. And I came to the realization, I was facing 8 years, and I came to the realization that I'm not going to see my child grow up. Everything that I've been doing is actually foolish. you know, it just didn't make sense of who I was. And then more even detrimental to me was my mother looked at me as a failure. She had eyes of disappointment on me, you know what I mean? And so as I'm sitting there, and you know, we got a couple of OGs in there, and Christmas is coming up. I mean, New Year's is coming up, all right? Well, Christmas and New Year's, that's all together. But around Christmas time, you know, they start making their toilet wine, right?
Toilet wand?
Toilet wine. Excuse me, I talk so funny.
Toilet wine.
Yeah, the
That's
wine.
even worse.
Yeah. And you know, when New Year's come, we drink this. All right, this is Happy New Year for us, right? And I'm sitting there, and they seem a little more comfortable than they should have been. And I'm looking at it like, yo, I'm not this kind of guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't belong like this. My spirit need to be free. My mind need to be free. And I need to readjust the way I'm doing things. So I learned a lot. And I give all praises due to Allah without ever being shy. You know, I know we in America, and sometimes, you know, there's a phobia about Islam. But Islam is an Arabic word that means peace.
Yes.
And peace is an absence of confusion. So you can't be confused when you at peace. You got to get rid of your confusion. And I think sitting there, my confusion, I got rid of it. I focused. I actually wrote down the names of my future children.
Really?
And utilized it.
So you knew how many kids you wanted, and used every name.
I didn't know if I was going to get them all, but I wrote the names down, and I have I have the paper where I wrote their names at. And they have the names on their birth certificate. Yeah.
Wow, man. Wow. The RZA is here. We're going to talk about Wu-Tang Clan, American Saga, Season 3, the final season. We're doing a screening tonight. We're going to do a Q&A tonight. Tracy asked you about, you know, how were you able to lasso in all these alpha males, and you talked about knowledge of self and other things as well. When you mentioned that, having knowledge of self, how empowering that is, it made me think of all the knowledge that's trying to be destroyed, erased, and swept under the rug when it comes to black folks in America. What you know, you see these states that are now censoring black history. You know, you can't mention the Civil War, or you can't mention white supremacy. You can't say all these things, or they're going to take you and take away the books. In some places, you might even have to suffer some jail time. Wow. Right? What? How do you assess that? What is this an attack? What do you, when you? It's
two sides to that though, Sway.
Okay.
So on one side, let me just go both sides.
Okay.
And I'll take the punishment that comes after this, and my wife will call me and say, "Should have shut up." But it's two. No, on one side, right? Who wants to tell your son when you have a new kid, say a kid is born in right now 2023, and he's growing up and he's living in American life, and then he's 7 years old now, and you tell him that his ancestors were slaves and N-words and all the brutality that we suffered, that actually may shatter his whole esteem. He may revert back psychologically to feeling inferior. He may look at white people as if they're greater than him because of the position that he was in or his ancestors was in. So that's a double edge, right? To me, that's something that's probably better when you get to college, right? So now you can look at it as a man, right? But along with that teaching, you better know that Timbuktu, Egypt, Kemet, Kush, and we could keep going, of history is your history. And even when our European brothers were in the dark ages, they was counting, when they got to number 10, they put an X, okay? They didn't even know what a zero was. So you can't even get all the technology and everything you see now until you get to the algebraic and the Aramaic and the Hebrew type of mathematics and letters. And all that originates with the original man, right, which is the black man. But at the end of the day, there's a period of time where, you know, if you're going to include this history, include that history. But I think that as Americans, right, we should definitely, you know, learn the basis of math, science, you know, things that's going to elevate us. And then, when you get to be an adult, Okay, yo, look, here go some things that happen. Because that's the slavery part of our history is 400 years.
Yeah.
Right? But our history, at minimum, 50,000 years.
50,000
At
years.
minimum.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go into my theories because I think it's way older than that.
I think it's way older than that, too.
Exactly. They found Lucy. That was 200,000.
Yeah.
And they talking about, they may say, oh, she didn't know. You don't know what she knew.
Yeah. She wasn't by herself. she wasn't eating dinner alone.
Yeah, she might have had candle lights in her coming out of her hands.
Yeah.
But point being made, that small moment of tragic history is tragic, and it definitely has a big effect on us as people, and some of us are still having the PTSD, the syndrome, the post-trauma syndromes off of it, and the white population is still also haven't atoned for it.
Yeah,
they haven't fully atoned for that. But still, I think that that is something that we got to. It's delicate, so I would really prepare. Like I'm gonna say one last thing, and like I said, it's a touchy subject, but I did show my son. He might have been 12 or 13, maybe 14. He was 14, right? You know my son.
Raekwon, yeah.
Right. So it's the year that Nate Parker did the
Nat Turner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, now I never showed him no movies like that, but I said, we're gonna watch Nat Turner, and then we put it in, and it broke his heart. He just started crying. He asked, why are people like that? So meanwhile, he's going to a private school. His friends come over. If he got 10 friends, 8 of them are white.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he saw something. Then I looked at it. I said, okay. And I explained to him, look, people, it's been some evil times in this planet, Prince. You know what I mean? And it's been some good times, and we're living the good times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but I never showed him another slave movie again. You know what I mean? I said, you know what? I started showing Django.
Because Jamie Foxx, that's our guy.
Yeah, at least Django at the end, he started busting shots.
He went for his.
But point being made, I said, I didn't want to put that into his head. I'll wait until, he's old enough to really understand, so he doesn't feel no inferiority complex, nor have the anger to go out and start just stereotyping all white people as evil based on what he saw. So it's a double-edged thing. So I'll leave it at that, bro.
You leave it at nah, great. I appreciate that. We're gonna come back. I want to open up these phone lines. If you're an MC, we got a big announcement we're gonna make.
Okay.
RZA is here. RZA is here. I do think in terms of our history, like you said, the slavery part is one aspect, of what our history is. There's, scholars, there's scientists, there's archaeologists, there's also, doulas. There's all sorts of parts of our history that still gets excluded.
Yeah.
That had nothing to do with, it's just people who rose above all that oppressiveness and was able to be able to shine. People like yourself, yeah. How old is he now, Prince?
He's down 17 now.
Oh my gosh, man! I watched this dude grow up from this.
Being at your house,
yeah, this little
17.
dude. I used to like to hug him because he was a little cute dude. I can't hug him now, huh?
Now you get your little pound now.
Yeah.
You got a little whip.
I will say this: I met your kids at the rap party of last season. I met your grown older kids. He has the most respectful, disciplined, inviting children I've ever met. They came up to me, the ones I hadn't even met yet, and it was like they already knew me,
Wow.
So salute to you on that. RZA is here, 888-742-3345. We got 2 big announcements to make when we come back. Shade 4-5. No, hold on, not that one. Give me a Wu-Tang song. Anyway.
How old was the son in the video with you and Preem for Versus? Is this the same son that you brought? He's 17 now?
Yeah. That was 3 years now.
That was 3 years ago.
You know what?
No, 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
No, Versus was
for them 3 years ago.
2020? Damn.
Yo, exactly. He know how old his son is, Sway.
I know, right? I know too. Right now, Icon walking.
Oh, yeah.
RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan. Bobby Digital. Filmmaker. Thinking man. Inventor. Architect. Some of your favorite producers, he's their favorite producer.
That's a fact.
Facts.
Come on, we're gonna talk about that. But right now, we got a big announcement we want to make. Yo, Torch. I've talked about it all morning long. If you are an MC and if you are a rapper and you're a fan of the Wu-Tang Clan, you have the opportunity to be on the track with the Wu-Tang Clan themselves. Big round of applause for that. RZA has been giving back to the culture forever since day one. Young MCs, old MCs, veteran MCs, whoever.
Rookies, whatever.
Rookies. you could be out of your bedroom, and if you want to rap with legends, this is your chance. Tell them, RZA.
Yeah, we got this joint called the Saga Continues, right? It features me, Cappadonna and Masta Killa, Inspectah Deck, and and even it could be you. We're gonna leave the first 16 bars open.
That's right.
Wow.
We're gonna let you download the track. All right. It's called the Saga Continues. You're gonna go to swayuniverse.com.
That's right.
Swayuniverse.com.
Swaysuniverse.com.
Right.
Swaysuniverse.com.
You know what I mean? You're gonna record your 16 bars, right? You're gonna download it. You're gonna record your 16 bars, and you're gonna email it. Listen, email it at Bust Your Rhymes. What up, Bust? Bust Your Verse at gmail.com. That's BUSTYOURVERSE at gmail.com. The contest will start tomorrow? Whatever.
We're gonna start it now.
We're gonna
start it right now on the show. We're gonna world premiere the track. It's called The Saga Continues. But the contest is going to end March 24th.
Okay.
So you got to go to swaysuniverse.com, get the track, download it, kick your verse, send it to Bust Your Verse.
And then what's going to happen, right? Then the top dopest 5 MCs, we're going to invite you to the morning show at a select date to kick your freestyle with Sway and RZA, all right?
Okay.
Now, we ain't giving out no money, all right? And, no flights to hotels, none of that, but we are giving you an invite.
Okay.
Because, we're doing this on our own, so we ain't getting no corporate backing on this. We're doing this for the culture and for you. So here's an invite and an opportunity to bust your verse on the biggest nationwide morning show right here, Sway in the Morning. Bong, bong.
And for more information, click the link in my bio. Click the link in my bio.
Go Torch.
At Real Sway.
Go Torch.
All right. Yo, Torch, hold up. We got the track right here. King Tech produced the track, right?
Tech.
Who put
we took the theme song from the theme, so the Emmy nominated theme song.
The Emmy nominated theme song.
That the RZA created, and then King Tech took it and hooked it up to his remix version. So check it out.
All right, here it is. It's a world premiere. We even included the 16 bar verse where you can hear it in the front of the song. Torch, if you want to try to do something over it, immediately let us know. It's a world premiere. The Saga Continues. Once again, if you want to be a part of the Wu-Tang Clan and be featured on a Wu-Tang Clan track, we talking Masta Killa, Cappadonna, Inspectah Deck, and RZA himself. All you got to do is go to swaysuniverse.com, right?
Swaysuniverse.com. All right. Send your 16 bars in. Download the track first.
Yes.
Then send your 16 bars in to this address right here.
Bust your rhymes at
Did the same thing.
Bust your verse at gmail.com. Yep. Bust your verse at gmail.com.
Yep. And then we're gonna take the 5 best verses and invite you to the wake up.
To the morning show, the radio show.
I'm about to say the wake up show.
The same thing. Let's do it again. We're gonna edit it.
Yeah. And then invite you to the morning show right here where Sway and I will listen to you bust your verse and choose the number 1, yo.
There it is.
Wow.
Heather and Tracy will be here too.
So out of the 5 people that 5 people will come up here, spit their verse, and y'all gonna choose live?
Look, we're gonna put the extra gravy pressure on them.
That's what they sound like.
Yeah,
this is
extra
so
pressure.
special because this goes hand in hand with the finale season.
Exactly.
It's a huge opportunity.
It's the final season of Wu-Tang Clan American Saga.
No, it is a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Sway and Tech for years, I know this is the morning show, but the Wake Up Show has so many MCs come. Look, Eminem is a ex-Wake Up Show guest,
Right.
Who breaks into the industry from the verses he spits on that show, and many MCs. And so this is kind of giving back in that capacity. And then when you look at Wu-Tang ourselves, we're lyricists, and it wasn't big pop songs. It was based on your lyric.
Facts.
So we are putting that back out there and giving you a chance. You MCs out there, and you could be whatever age, you could be whatever. We're not gonna discriminate you, all right?
It's just caliber.
Yeah, the techniques and your sword plays just got to be bong, all right? That's what it is.
And when you get invited, we're not flying you out. We're not providing transportation, shelter, food, or any of that.
Shelter.
All of that is up to you to provide for yourself. But we are inviting you to the show.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the easiest way to do it, click the link in my bio. All right, go to Real Sway or go to swaysuniverse.com, but click the link in my bio and bong. Big round of applause for that, man. Come on, we give it back. Hold up, give me another drum roll, Torch.
There's more.
Give me another drum roll, Torch.
It's Super Bong Day.
What's going on?
It's Super Bong
Give me
Day.
another.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
To everyone who got a chance to see the New York State of Mind tour with the Wu-Tang Clan and Nas, congratulations, you witnessed history.
Buster was someone on some of
And
those
Busta-
dates.
and Busta
Yeah.
Rhymes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you witnessed history. For those who didn't get a chance to see it, we have a big announcement.
Yeah, we're gonna do the New York State of Mind tour worldwide starting this spring, and we'll be coming to a place near you. Yo.
Wow.
Come on, man. Part 2.
Wow.
Tour, baby.
Wow.
That's right.
Part 2.
With Nas and Wu-Tang
Yep,
again?
Nas and Wu-Tang
folks?
again, and a special guest. You know what I mean? So the beautiful thing is we talking about lyrics and lyricism. You know what I mean? Nas being one of the greatest lyricists ever to bless the mic. You know what I mean? And when you look, when you see this tour, on the show that we put together, it's actually kind of like revolutionary in its own way, because the show is seamless. Like, I don't want to give you a spoiler. I want you to buy the tickets and come see it. But you've never seen a hip hop show like this, where Wu-Tang, Nas, and our special guest, which was Busta Rhymes, we actually found the way to make it feel like just a unified theatrical event with bangers and bangers and bangers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And songs that was never performed before. You know, like for the whole history, we never seen Nas and Raekwon goes through verbal intercourse
This is true.
at a live, 7,000 watt speakers pushing it out. You know what I mean? 18,000 people.
Wow.
You know, and
Sheesh.
the Hollywood Bowl was the end of the tour last year. Where of course Mary J. Blige came out and joined us. The great lyricist, one of the greatest, LL Cool J came out and joined us.
Yes.
The great lyricist Jada Kiss came out
man.
and joined us. I'm just saying, it's a lyrical party,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow.
Redman came out and joined us. So it was such a beautiful moment. You know, me and Nas' team, we talked about it. So, yo, let's do it again. And so we're gonna
That's
do it
fire.
again.
That's big, man. Come on. And then look out for the Sway in the Morning crew with Heather B and Tracy G and myself backstage doing interviews and broadcasting or sipping on something.
Be
All
fun.
right.
Sipping on
Something. You know, it was a minute that lyrics were under attack. Being lyrical was under attack in recent years.
Oh, yeah.
And people were just dismissing it. It doesn't matter who writes your lyrics. None of that matters anymore.
Right. It's only about the vibes.
Yeah, but you are always the opposite of that. What are your thoughts on that, how lyrics were being attacked?
I mean, how can you attack lyrics, yo, when it's the foundation? You know what I mean? It's the foundation. You know, sometimes we get so far from the foundation. You know, people be like at the top of the building. Oh, we up here in the penthouse, not knowing that, yo, the first floor is holding you up, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So lyrics is the foundation. DJing, beatboxing, graffiti, breakdancing, fashion, hip hop foundation must always remain. That's why they're called the pillars of hip hop.
But you get gatekeepers who kind of repeat that rhetoric like it doesn't lyrics don't matter no more. What do you?
Who give me name somebody who's saying that?
I don't want to give them spotlight.
I'm just telling you. Look, dude. then don't say nothing then if lyrics don't matter. Don't say nothing at all. That's because you got, maybe he have weak lyrics, maybe the guy think, he could just get it. Look, there's been songs where the guy was like, da ha ha ha.
Rapping Duke.
Yeah, he got paid. But he ain't the man. You know what I mean? He ain't he's within the canon, but he's not within that legendary pillar of what hip hop is. And if you go back and check your history, all right, the foundation and the thing that propelled the art was lyrics. When hip hop got dull and the culture was getting too poppy, we needed Rakim, we needed KRS-One, we needed Big Daddy Kane. You know what I mean? And no disrespect to those who was making hits, because I respect all hip hop.
Yeah.
So you go back and you have Young MC and Tone Loc, and they're doing songs that are more dancey and more, okay, it's good. Because we want to be in the clubs and we want to be in the streets, and you want to be able to listen to something, right? And walk away with something. And that's not just in hip hop. Folk songs with my man, what's the great folk singer? Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan,
Bob
yeah.
Dylan.
I thought you was going to say Bob Dylan.
Yeah, Bob Dylan, reggae. There's a lot of body, boom, body, but Bob Marley had lyrics. You know what I mean? You go back and you check whether you're going to Temptations with when he wrote the Rolling Stone, it's lyrics, man.
Yeah.
The lyrics,
Stylistic
lyrics, baby.
Yeah.
And you out there who say lyrics ain't it, sharpen your lyrics.
There it is. Well, let me ask you this, man. Tech and I always said back in the 90s that the Wu-Tang Clan, we've been saying this was the greatest, in our opinion, greatest group to ever impact hip-hop. We said that for a while, but one of my favorite groups is De La Soul of all time, because they spoke to me in such a perfect way, and rest in peace to Dave, who are, if somebody said, well, who's the greatest hip hop group of all time, and you didn't name Wu-Tang Clan, who's on your list?
Wow, I'm gonna have to meditate on that, right? Yeah. I gotta meditate on.
Or who
that.
are some of them?
I mean, you think about the pioneers. Of course, Run DMC are pioneers. Public Enemy are pioneers. Helped us so much down the path. I could step back even before them and go Cold Crush, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, and I could go forward and look at great groups like Outkast, who brings us from the South. I could go down to even though they wasn't considered a group, but I mean, I don't know, NWA. It is a group. Yeah. But I want to count Snoop in there. I want to put Dog Pound, everybody, everybody in there. You know what I mean? Then you got groups that didn't get the, let's call it the total commercial appeal, but were very inspirational and very influential. Hieroglyphics, Far Side. You already said De La Soul, but De La Soul, I just remember when De La Soul came out, the entire 60% of the hip hop community tried to beat them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And that's when the
impact. Their impact was for real. And so EPMD too. I always say
EPMD.
Man. Gosh.
And I hope my brother don't get it. But Tribe Called Quest, yo.
Yeah.
They so it's look, the groups and the soloists, these are all parts of the culture. Now, we lost the thing of a lot of groups, right? I mean, and it's like the soloists just seem to become just a dominant factor in our industry, but the Migos brought the groups back, but there's not a lot of groups. So we could use some more groups.
Yeah, it's true. Because I think only the Locks technically stayed together.
Yeah.
Right.
But a
MOP,
lot of groups, MOP of course.
Yeah.
Shout out to MOP. But a lot of groups.
The Roots.
The Roots. Shout out to the Roots.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but all of those are still pre. Give me some groups after 2005.
You got Odd Future. Future,
okay.
ASAP Mob.
ASAP, okay.
Right?
Yeah, but the individuals,
Migos.
I would say.
Migos.
What else we got? Come on.
A new duo out of Brooklyn, Girl Code.
Okay, ain't up on them. Okay.
They dope, actually.
Yeah, they're actually pretty damn dope, right?
Yeah.
It's a few, but it's not as abundant as it once was.
Right.
No.
I'll be remiss if I didn't ask you before we go about season 3, the final season. Wu-Tang Clan, American Saga. what did you put into it? What did you hope people walk away?
Wait, the final season or the series finale? Is this it?
No, this is the final season. I'm gonna move on and do some other things.
Wow.
It's been 5 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a 5-year plan.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But this season, or actually, you will see the Wu-Tang Clan go through that 5-year period, and of course, we know that they are successful, but you don't see the pitfalls of success, right? When you get there, what multiplies in you? What demon becomes worse? Right? Or what demon are you able to destroy? Or what part do you become better? How do you survive success? We don't got a map for that either. And I think this season
How do you survive success?
Yeah. Because it ain't just money, bro. You know what I mean? Success is not an easy thing to survive.
What do you mean?
Man, there's a lot of, well, think about some of our artists, right, who get successful. You meet them before they're successful.
Yeah.
You meet them after they're successful and they're a little weird, they're a little strange, they're eating too many pills or something, or they dealing with too many things that's, even one of our greatest success stories is our brother Michael Jackson, but for a moment we was disconnected to him because we didn't understand the things he was going through. So success is deep, bro.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing to survive, and especially when you're the only one in your family or the only one from your community.
Right.
What does it feel like when you're not surviving it though? What was your lowest vibration point? Would you say?
I think I made a mistake. I'll share this with everybody. Look, success builds a God complex in you. Okay, you actually believe that you are the chosen Christ. And you can get that feeling in you, and everything else is subjugated to you. Right? And then something happens in your life where you can't do nothing. Have no power over it. For me, it was the passing of my mom's. It was I was like, okay, I'm human.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Ain't nothing I can do about this.
Yeah.
So when you realize there's nothing you can do, then you got to then take 2 steps back and say, all praise is due to Allah, because you thinking everything is just you. Sometimes you don't even realize that, like I was telling you, but sometimes you don't even know who's at home with your grandmother, your mother, or your pastor who's praying for you. That's helping you get to that success. But then when you get there, you're like, you start changing everything about your own self. My wake-up call happened early. I removed myself from the industry. You know what I mean? Sat down for a few years, about 2 or 3 years, and I came back, and that's when I started composing films and things of that nature. But success is not an easy thing, especially when it's first generational.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't think my children will have the same problem. They didn't feel the guilt of success. I'm going to say that last thing for your listeners. Success also has a guilt feeling.
Yeah, survivor's
I
remorse.
go through that a lot.
Yeah, when you're the only one with it, everybody, then you start helping people because you feel like, it's fine. It's like, you know what I mean? So it's a lot to deal with. But in the season, we see our characters try to navigate that. And the most important thing I want to say about the show that I pray is that this show is a map. Okay? You're watching young American men go from poverty, from crime, and then finding themselves in the music business, growing in fame, stature, and economics, and how do they navigate that, and how do their relationships change with themselves, their families, and the people they're attracting to them. This season digs deep into that, and I'm very proud of it. And look, it may be the final season, but I gotta say it's the best one as well.
Absolutely, man. I want to thank you for putting King Tech, myself, in season 2, episode 5.
Yeah, man.
Immortalizing us right now, man. I want to say thank you for that. Thank you for all you contribute. I can't wait for the ballet. Doing a ballet, right?
Yeah, we'll come back for that.
We'll come back for that. Cool. Yeah. Okay, we're on a mix. Okay, the Hulu is here. Hulu is here. And tonight we're going to do a screening, and then we're going to do a Q&A with a lot of the actors, you and Alex C.
Yeah, Alex C, my partner. Thank you, Alex, for this 5-year journey. Thank you, brother.
Okay, and we're working on some things, too.
Indeed so.
Yeah.
And I'm going to shout out Method Man, executive producer, Brian Grazer, executive producer, and the entire Wu-Tang clan. Thank y'all brothers for the years of love, support, consultation, consolations, all the good things, yo. Bong Bong, we still here.
Bong Bong, we still here. Don't I know have to be? I know you got to go to Urban View.
Got to head over to Urban View. Hit me up at the happy hour, WHB.
Trigger.
Yo, citizens, I hope that you really took in this conversation because the gems are everywhere, man. Catch them all. At It's Tracy G. Hit me up. ITSTRACYG.
Ty.
Follow me at I am Ty Davis. IAMTYDAVIS.
Torch, the producer.
Hit me up at Torchington. That's Torch INGTON.
All right, thank you. I'm at Real Sway across the board. Citizens, all MCs, go to swaysuniverse.com right now. Download the track, Saga Continues. Man, you could be on the track with Inspectah Deck, Cappadonna, Masta Killa, and RZA, and you. All you got to do is download that track, 16-bar verse, and then email it to us at bustyourverse@gmail.com. We're going to pick 5. You'll be able to come here to New York City. We're going to invite you. You got to get yourself here, pay your own route, pay your own shelter, pay your own food. But the doors will be open for you. We're going to pick one to be featured on this track with the Wu-Tang clan. So make sure you do that. All that information is in my bio at Real Sway, or go to swaysuniverse.com. And on that note, citizens, we got Naughty by Nature tomorrow.
Woo. It's different.
Yeah. RZA, you got a question for them? I'm going to play it back.
Oh, okay, yeah.
A real one, too.
Oh.
And that's another hip-hop group.
Yeah, no, we
Oh, that's legends. They're one of the greatest.
We used to ride in the limos together because we was both signed to Tommy Boy, and they blew up and I didn't. You know what I mean? But let me get a good question. Hold on.
That's a good intro, though. Take your time, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'll say that though. Yeah. Yo, this next group right here. No, I can.
You live on there too, by the way. Yeah. But it's okay, man. I'm doing great, man.
I'm taking over the show. I'm like, yo, this next group right here.
It's your show, man. RZA in the morning. Go ahead, bro.
No, Naughty by Nature, man. What I want to ask them is, I never really knew like who produced the beats really. Okay. I mean, I never knew who really produced the beats and came up with all the songs. So, okay. Who's the one that produced the beats and come up with all the songs? And I always, because Vinny didn't rap that much on that first album, so I thought he was producing.
Okay.
Right? I know K was there, but I just couldn't really put my finger on it. So, question 1, when did Vinny started writing lyrics?
Okay.
And question 2, who produced all the beats?
There it is. That's from the RZA. Fellas? All right, cool. There you go. And that note, citizens, we have nothing left to say.